Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Forex morning update. It's Tuesday, the 13th of July, and my name's Mark Owen. Well, the summer months are sure are producing the volatility spikes that I said we could expect to see. Yesterday was another one of those days. We saw huge moves coming out of all Canadian pairs based on the interest rate that was expected, but it was a bigger move than I actually thought would happen, considering how much all Canadian pairs had moved, and potential pricing in, looking at Bloomberg statistics on how many institutions and funds were expecting the rate hike. The other mover on the day was the US dollar in retreat. It was the first day of Chair Lady Yellen's testimony. She didn't really release anything new or unexpected to the market, talking about further rate hikes are expected, inflation's too low, it is data dependent. It was everything that was expected, but the market, that was it. It was seen as a sell-off, whereas when we look at the Bank of Canada, yes, they raised rates for the first time in 7 years, but they stated that they don't see any other potential rate rises this year, and also that they see it as data dependent. Yet the Canadian dollar moved 250 pips positively for the Canadian dollar, and the US dollar was pretty much hit across the board until late in the afternoon. What we saw was the euro. It looked like the break of the key level around 114.50 to 115 was on the cards. It was moving quite aggressively, only to see it be rejected, and we'll look at that in a moment. So let me just say, guys, we've really got to be quite cautious out there. These moves are unexpected, they're exaggerated, very, very erratic. So please be careful. Okay, dollar index weekly chart not changed, sitting pretty much where it opened last week. We've had a little bit of a fluctuation, moving up, back down, and yesterday towards the end of the day we've got a bit of a dollar move up, but really it's a nothing candle. It's inside the previous weeks. So let's just see what happens. Don't try and force any trades. Euro dollar. So what we've got in here, we've got the weekly chart down at the bottom with the daily chart up at the top left hand corner. Daily chart, what you can see is there was a key move, not just yesterday but the day before. We've got big bullish momentum bar, which is this one here. If you can see my cursor now moving up and down, then followed, it took out the high and started to move up, and then sold off aggressively. Today, yeah, we're in a little bit of a bullish move for the euro, but the way we can look at playing this market is we know we've got an extreme signal from the commercials. We also know that the market has been rallying, therefore when the market rallies we know the commercials will be selling. So potentially we should see an increase in commercial short positioning. Therefore I'll be looking at shorts now that we've seen another rejection. We've got a two candle pin pattern yesterday and the day before. So we can look at using the low of Tuesday's candle as an entry point with stops above the highs. Target right down at the 108, so there's a substantial target there. I think we could potentially see that gap being closed. Okay, so that's euro dollar. Dollar yen was in retreat. It's come back to test that trend line. Let's watch this and see if we get any rejection now off that trend line where we're currently sat. If we are, then there's a potential that dollar move back up to that resistance zone. If not, if we're going to come back into that triangle that's forming, then we can see the dollar retreat, and we'll see this price come all the way back down to the lower trend line. Well, dollar CAD, this is the market on the move. This is a weekly chart. Any sort of retracement will give us a decent opportunity to continue buying the Canadian strength. I mean, it's dropped from 139 to 127, so far we've had 1150 pip drop on dollar CAD. So how far can it drop? I mean, if we look previously, this last big move down here went from 148 to 125, so a potential move on the cards if you were looking at some sort of continuation or ABCD pattern. If you were to measure this move, we've probably only done half of the move already, so maybe coming down into these lows here, you'd have the measured move, so around 120, which would be around here, would be the equivalent move of this, and we're just looking at this nice little retracement into the sort of 50% with a measured move down into 120s. So a pullback into 1.3 would give you a nice little opportunity to get short, with a potential 1,000 pip reward. Remember, this is a sort of a mid-term move, so if you're an intraday trader, then that kind of trade won't be for you. I'd just be looking for intraday pullbacks. So gold, we were looking at getting short yesterday, and we did, and this is a market we were stopped out on. It started to move really well. We were in the trade. It was looking good. Next time I looked at the charts, they'd completely spun upside down within a matter of seconds. So these are the conditions we've got to be careful about. Ultimately, I wasn't looking for any long trades until we got down to 1200. So currently, short term, we've got a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. So let's just be patient now and see what happens. If we are going to get resumption and the market's going to continue to the upside, we're going to have to break this high here, and then we'll look to see what opportunities present themselves. Okay, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Yes, it was a relatively quick morning update, but other than that, there's not a great deal to say. Focus on the Canadian pairs, the strength, look for some pullbacks, and look to be buying Canadian dollar. Failing that, we're getting closer to the date of the 25th of July. I've had a few emails coming backwards and forwards. It'd be nice to know. This will be the last week that I'll be monitoring people emailing in and questioning about the meetup, because we are running out of time now. If you can't get to this one on the 25th of July, then we will be hosting another date within August. Any preferred dates, I would expect to be in the third week of August. That would be when I would expect to see the next meetup if you can't attend the July one. Any questions on today's information, please drop me an email to mark@phoenixblue.co.uk, or drop it in the comments tab. Hit like. Don't forget to share these videos, and also any content you would like us to produce, please let me know. We'll be more than happy to produce some content for you. And stay disciplined. Have a great trading day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget, hit us up on YouTube, on Facebook and Instagram at Phoenix Blue Trading. Constant posts coming out. All right, bye guys.